So here are some 3 practice problems for the quotient rule. So you guys can pause the video and try these out, and then play the video, and I'll go over the answers. Right here is the quotient rule. If you guys need to remember that. If you guys don't know how to come up with the quotient rule, you guys can check out the video before this. So I'm going to go ahead and solve these 3 questions. We have e to the x over x. So once again, we're going to take the derivative of the numerator and we're going to multiply it by the denominator. So we get an e to the x times x. And we're going to subtract the derivative of the denominator, which is 1 times the numerator, which is e to the x. And we're going to divide all of that by the denominator squared. So the derivative of e to the x over x is e to the x minus e to the x all over x squared. So now let's find the derivative of sine x over cosine x. Notice that this is tangent x. And this derivative you guys are going to want to memorize. But we're going to be looking at sine x over cosine x just so that we can use the quotient rule. So the derivative of the numerator gives us a cosine x times the denominator. That gives us another cosine x, so that gives us a cosine squared x. And we're going to subtract the derivative of the denominator, which is the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x, so that turns into a positive sine x. And we're going to multiply that by sine x, so this turns into sine x squared, and divide that whole thing by cosine of x squared. And notice that cosine of x plus sine x is 1, so that's equal to 1 over cosine squared x, which is equal to secant squared x. Memorize this. The derivative of tangent is secant squared. You guys definitely want to memorize that. Now let's do this last one. Once again, we have a pretty difficult expression, but if we just look at it as a function on top and a function on bottom, we can just use the quotient rule. So once again, we can take the derivative of the top, which is just 3, multiply it by the bottom, subtract the derivative of the bottom, which is 12x, multiply that by the top, divide that whole thing by the bottom squared. So that's just some practice with the quotient rule. And just once again, make sure you memorize this equation. Make sure you memorize that the derivative of tangent is secant squared. And that's it.